The value of the thing I am about to smack this guy with is like 30 coal. Eat 30 coal. How did the 30 coal taste? Way too good, way too not good. I don't know, he died. Hello guys, this is Spyderrock, and welcome back to another Minecraft add-on showcase video. Today we're going to be checking out 3 sword add-ons, as well as I have something kind of important to talk about the state of add-ons and whatnot in the video as well. First, I did want to shout out Wither Hosting, this Minecraft server hosting service I personally use. They have high quality servers with good CPUs at low prices. You can use my code as well as the link in the description to get 15% off and support my channel. Anyway, in this video, I wanted to use this video to talk about polish. It's the most important thing, I think, when it comes to add-ons. As someone who has tried out hundreds, maybe even thousands at this point, of different add-ons for videos and whatnot, and then I go through all these different add-ons, trying them out pretty much every day, looking for good ones to showcase, and a lot of times I'll end up showcasing one that's not that great just because I think it's funny, but most of the time if I give an add-on a high review, it doesn't have as much to do with how much stuff it has and more so with its polish. And I think that's the most important thing, because maybe to the majority of random people just downloading add-ons, things that you can see that have a lot of downloads that don't look that good, the reason why is because a lot of people will see it, they'll try it out, and they'll be like, oh, this is kind of lame, and forget about it. And polish is really the important thing. It's not about, you know, how big of an explosion it can cause or how much stuff is there. It's really about how good the experience is. Does it feel like a good experience? Does it not feel like something that was, you know, half made, half baked, and not really ready to be played? So in this video, I have 3 add-ons on varying levels of polish that all came out recently and are all still probably worth checking out, depending on the type of Minecraft player you are, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about here. So the first add-on is the Ore Swords add-on by O. Now this is an example of an add-on that adds in a handful of things, but it doesn't really focus on all these crazy features and more so just focuses on polish. Now this is an add-on that adds in swords for pretty much every ore or ore comparable thing. I went ahead and gave myself a whole bunch of XP. But the cool thing about these, they're, you know, pretty much what you'd expect. I just realized I don't have a lapis. They're enchantable, basic Minecraft swords with pretty solid, normal textures. They literally take the ore textures. They look fine enough. They look pretty solid, actually. They look polished. They look like what you would expect from an ore sword. And they do exactly that. They have varying levels of functionality, and they all work at the level you'd think. For example, this iron sword, 6 damage. This diamond one, 7 damage. They, I don't know if they're exactly the same as actually crafting it with the material. I think they are pretty similar, however, at least both in terms of damage and durability, and they're enchantable, and they're pretty much exactly what you'd expect. Plus, there's some other things. I don't know what an amethyst, oh, amethyst block is in like a block of amethyst. Okay, that's cool. But they're not overpowered, they're not underpowered, they're just what you'd expect, and they feel like a good addition just if you want a little bit more to mess around with, a little bit more in your world. It's nothing crazy, it's nothing to write home about, but it is what it says it is, and it's ore swords that work well. And I died. That was very nice. There's a lot of different ones. They don't do anything super fancy. I mean, I can grab an ancient debris one, which you craft with ancient debris, and it's what you'd expect. Theoretically, this is cheaper to get than a netherite sword. However, you can't like transfer over your enchantments from a diamond sword or anything, so it kind of balances out in its own way. Stuff like this is what I really like. Things that add in things that, you know, maybe some things with good features are cool, new features, new innovations, but fundamentally what you want to play with, what you want to have on a world, is stuff like this, stuff that just adds in what it says on the tin, what you're expecting it to have, which is just swords with ores in this example, or swords. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and rate this add-on and give it a solid 6 out of 10, simply because, you know, I'll even boost it to a 7 out of 10, because there's just not that much. But it's solid, it's polished, it's well done, and it doesn't overcomplicate itself. It's something that wouldn't be that hard to make, but the fact that it was made is a nice, beneficial thing. So I need to come up with a better rating system. So maybe starting with the new year, I will start a new rating system out of like maybe out of like 100, maybe a score out of 100, like a percentage or something. So there's 50 points for polish, 30 points for creativity, and 20 points for amount. So if an add-on adds in something very unique and very new, but not very much of it, theoretically it could get up to an 80% or an 8 out of 10. So I may start rating things on that scale. In fact, you know what? Maybe starting this video I'll rate things on that scale. So theoretically, going by that system, I would give this add-on a 6.8, which would be 5 for polish, 1 for creativity, and 0.8 for amount, because the amount's only out of 2, basically, theoretically. So there are quite a few little swords here, so I gave it almost half that point, basically. So yeah, maybe that is a good idea. Maybe I'll start doing that. Okay. The next add-on here is the Vanilla Katana add-on. This is an add-on that seems theoretically really interesting, and I have a couple of minor complaints about it, but for the most part does seem pretty cool, and it does seem like it has a fair amount of polish and a fair amount of interesting things, but not entirely. So I'll just go ahead and check this out. So there's 2 new blocks you can get, which are interesting. They look all right. The textures look decent, and these are how you craft the new katanas, and then this one is for the fancier katana, so lightning 1 and lightning 2, which seems neat. I don't know how you get the lightning orbs. There's probably some way you can get the lightning orbs. Anyway, this is it seems like an interesting polished system. I'm assuming these katanas are enchantable. Yes, they are enchantable, which is good. My only real complaint is just the oversight in terms of the names are in like lowercase letters. I don't know, for some reason that bothers me. It's just like Minecraft has a system where it puts pretty much all words in full uppercase, or sometimes, and I mean the ore sword add-on did have like lower cases there, so maybe I will bump it down to like a 6.7, but you get my point. It's more so just the fact that it's like it's a simple thing that wasn't really thought through, and I'm assuming Minecraft in any given language would be capitalized. So maybe it's a restriction to do with whatever program was being used, or maybe it's just an oversight, but it just seems kind of not. Oh, well, I guess that does something. Oh no, this is burning down. I feel like if I use that as like my highlight thing at the beginning, like everything I'm gonna do is just gonna be lightning, which would be kind of funny. Anyway, this add-on seems pretty solid, other than the fact that it's kind of like funny with the names, and the textures also don't look like super great, I'll be honest. Also, I don't know what this is about. Look at like how fast, like every time I'm clicking, it's like draining one, which is like making these lose durability really fast. So that seems kind of like a weird thing. Maybe that's just a Minecraft thing, but that seems kind of strange to me. Anyway, this add-on doesn't do terrible with polish, but it doesn't do super amazing. For the most part, it's fine. The textures look fine. The handles do look a little bit funny, and the naming scheme is a little bit weird. But I'm gonna use this lightning thing, and then we'll see how this goes. Let's see. Come on, use it. Hit the lightning. Do the lightning. There we go. Thank you. Oh, and I burnt. Okay. But I feel like you can understand where I'm coming from, or like how the netherite thing isn't really like the right color scheme. It's just minor things, but those minor things can end up making an add-on like really good or really not good, because it just shows that you like went through the effort of thinking through like about the game, thinking about Minecraft, thinking about the user experience regardless, other than just like the sword. This add-on does a pretty good job with polish though. I would probably give it like a 3.5 for polish. For creativity, I do like the tables, so I will give it, 2.5 points. So we've got 3.5, 2.5, and then for amount, I'll give it a 0.5, because it adds in a few things, but not a crazy amount of things. So this add-on gets a score of 6.5 out of 10. Which is not terrible. It is not bad. So if you want to get any of these add-ons, they'll all be in the description also, for those of you that don't know. Before we get into this next add-on, I wanted to ask you guys to comment down below, if you did make it to here, what are your thoughts on add-on polish? How important is it to you as just an average Minecraft player? Do you care if the texture is janky, the names are weird, and you can't throw certain enchantments on things, or you can't break things with break certain blocks with things, or you can't use things in ways that you'd expect them to be used? Yeah, let me know. I'm kind of curious to see what you guys would think about this. This is just my general consensus from what I've experienced playing the game. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, the last add-on is the More Swords add-on by Phantasma. Now this is an add-on that adds in some more swords. I think I might have missed one of the swords here, but it's not a big deal. Anyway, this is an add-on that is very problematic. The textures don't look terrible, but that's because I'm pretty sure all of them are ripped from other places. Like, I'm not sure that many of them are actually from this. Like, I don't recognize most of them. Some of them might be from Terraria, unless they're all from Terraria. I know this one's from Terraria, I believe. This is the Terraria cactus sword, I think. But like, even a sword made out of cactus, 7 damage, like, that's really overpowered. I mean, this sword is an emerald and a diamond, and it does 20 damage. The Esmeralda sword, I wonder if this is just supposed to say emerald, and it does 22 damage. Like, I shouldn't be able to do this with something made out of emeralds. Like, you can get those for so easy. This is literally like the value of what I'm smacking this man. The value of the thing I am about to smack this guy with is like 30 coal. Eat 30 coal. How did the 30 coal taste? Way too good, way too not good. I don't know, he died. But I hope you can see my point. You know, this is not a polished add-on. Stuff is overpowered, and the textures they don't look terrible, but I'm pretty sure most of them are stolen or ripped from other things. And it's just generally like kind of not great. I don't know how to say it other than that. Like, this could be a cool add-on, but I'm pretty sure a lot of these textures are stolen. I feel like I've seen them before. Maybe the add-on creator made them. You know, I haven't specifically seen this texture, or maybe even this definitely doesn't look like it was created here, but I haven't seen this. Really, the only one I've seen is this, but I don't know. I haven't like, I have bad feelings about this. I looked in the comments of this add-on page, and it was like, this is kind of boring. I see these textures a lot since they're reused. Weapons are OP in general. Like, yeah, this seems to be a general consensus. I don't think I'm alone in this. Like, I like having a cool big katana as much as the next guy, but something about this, I mean, at least they went through the decency to get the naming scheme right and to get the scaling right. Mostly. I don't know if the Esmeralda sword is supposed to be an emerald sword, but I'll open the crafting table and show you some of these recipes for things. Like, look at this. 20 damage, a ton of durability, theoretically. And what is this? A diamond and an emerald? Like, the Esmeralda sword, which I'm assuming is supposed to be emerald sword, it doesn't have the most durability, but 22 attack damage for 2 emeralds. That's crazy. The lapis sword, I'm assuming, which is in green, 11 attack damage. Kind of crazy. Death sword, it's not even a sword. Like, I'm sorry, maybe that's just purely a translation thing. Also, this amethyst sword is separate from this amethyst sword. This is the amethyst block sword. This one's only amethyst shards, and this is 10 damage. This is an actually balanced one. It looks identical, and it's got 6 damage. I'm assuming this isn't what that amethyst sword is supposed to look like. I'm assuming they're both called amethyst sword, and maybe the texture from this one, since it's above it, and the packs got taken by this one. So this is a nice texture. The one for it doesn't even look that great. So that's what I wanted to talk about. This add-on, oh hey, this thing is actually kind of neat. It gives you regeneration and a little bit of health boost. That's a unique thing. But this add-on gets a 4 out of 10 by my new rating scale. I mean, it's not awful. I've seen worse add-ons. It gets a 3 out of 10 for polish, or 3 out of 5 for polish, which is not terrible, but not great. It gets a 0.5 out of 10 for amount of stuff, and it gets a 0.5 out of 10 for creativity. I keep saying 10. It gets a 0.5 out of 2 and a 0.5 out of 3, because it does have a few things, and some of them have mildly creative things, but most of the creativity comes from, I'm assuming, taking other people's stuff. But I don't want to make any judgments or like big claims. So for now, I'm only claiming it on the cactus sword. If you think otherwise, then please don't yell at me. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, I hope this video was interesting to those of you in the add-on space. Maybe if you're just looking for a sword add-on, you clicked on it, you skipped through to see the swords, and you continued with your day. But I want to make more videos like this talking about what makes add-ons good and makes them bad, because there's a lot of things that'll make them bad and a lot of things that can make them good. Thanks for watching if you made it to here though. I want to shout out Ping you for being a channel member, so thank you for supporting the channel. Anyway, see you guys later, and bye.